Hello, my name's Michael Ashton and I work at Alterian in the Professional Services Department. And today I'm going to run through how you might want to use triggers within Campaign Manager. So, what are triggers? Triggers are a way of actioning upon events that come into the system for further onward marketing activity. So, events can be imported via the Import Events tool. And this tool listens out for events, and these can either be events delivered in files to an FTP site or raised via the Campaign Manager API. You can also use the When in Segment tool, and this tool captures events when recipients fall into specific segments. For example, a recipient entering into a segment by purchasing a specific product. So you can trigger upon events either globally within a campaign, and what this means is that this trigger will fire to all recipients at any time, irrespective of what track they're in. For example, you might want to remove a recipient from a campaign if they complain about a marketing activity or something like that. Or you can actually set events to be triggered only if recipients are in a specific track. For example, you might only want to action upon event if a customer has over 7 days until delivery, so upsell attempts can be made or what have you. So an example scenario. So a furniture company sells sofas online. Customers forget about their delivery slots and are often not in, resulting in the sofas not being delivered and the delivery having to be rescheduled, wasting time, money and resource. So the solution would be to send a real-time confirmation email using the Email Manager API to confirm that the booking has been made and the delivery date. And then the Campaign Manager API is raised. And that will then trigger onward delivery date reminder emails 7 days before the delivery, 5 days before the delivery, and 1 day before the delivery. Okay, so I'm going to actually show you a working example of this. So I have a campaign here which I'm just going to start. Okay, so first of all, this campaign's a really simple campaign that is waiting for orders or delivery events to be fired, triggering reminder emails. So first of all, in the Audience tab, everyone or all recipients must exist within the audience in Campaign Manager in order to be triggered. So if that particular customer doesn't exist within that audience, you won't be able to trigger events against them. So if I go ahead and have a look at the tracks here, we've essentially got a start track and then it goes straight to holding. So these recipients are just sitting in the holding track waiting to be triggered for further onward activity, and I'll show you exactly how that works in a bit. Within the Events tab, we've got 2 events set up here, booked and cancelled. This is set up to be an API event, so you could get your website or booking system to call the API once the booking's been made. And within this tool, we actually say the key column, so this would be like your customer ID, for example, that we're raising the event against. So this is how we know the customer to raise the event against. The event ID column, so in this example, this would be booked or cancelled. You can also have a creative instance key, and this is so that you can raise an event against an outbound send, so that you could link that event to a send, but in this case we don't want to do that. So within the bookings, you can also pass across parameters. So for example, the delivery date, because this is real-time data, this won't exist within the database in Campaign Manager yet, because this delivery slot's just been allocated. So we can actually pass that data across to Campaign Manager. So actually, the way this works is you have to set up a variable, so the delivery date variable within here, and then we've got a parameter which then maps to that variable, and once you have those set up, you can then subsequently set the parameters up here, and you say which column the delivery date will flow into. And when I say column, you actually pass the data across in a comma separated list in when you call the API. So an example here, and if you ever want to try the API out, you can go through this GUI here to test it. But you see here I've got the delivery date, and this is the third column. So that's all we're doing here. We're saying that the delivery date is column 3, and you see delivery date is the third column across, and we have the sort of customer ID, if you like, in the first column, and we've already told it that, and we're saying it's booked, and the alternative to booked would be the cancelled event. And we'll also pass in some other details like phone number and email address and what have you across here. Okay, so just close that, and we've also got the cancelled booking. Actually, we're not going to pass things like delivery date across in the cancelled one, because we're just going to, for any cancelled events, we will just remove them from the marketing activity. Okay, so if I have a look in triggers now, you see here we've got a trigger set up, and I've mapped it to the booking made event, and if that gets fired against the customer, I'm going to send that recipient to the send reminder track. Okay, and here I've got the booking cancelled, and if a cancelled event gets fired, I'm going to send them to the cancel track, and that will mean that we won't send any marketing activity to that recipient anymore. Okay, so now that's all set up and I've started that, I'm just gonna run it, and I can show you actually firing. If I just refresh that, we should see that nothing is there. Okay, so I'll just bring up this web page. So got a really simple web page here. I'm just going to say confirm slot, and what that's doing is it's just going to fire the email manager and campaign manager APIs to trigger these events. So campaign manager's listening out for this event, so we should see that come through, and hopefully I should see you should be able to show you some emails as well. Great, okay, so I've just had an email come through. There you go, your sofa will be delivered on this particular date, and within Campaign Manager, within the activity log, you can see event source processing there. So that means that we've received the event, and it's actually implemented the tactic, and I'll wait for that to come through. But as that's received this booking made, what it's done is sent it to the send reminder track. We dynamically work out how many days till delivery, In this example, we've sent across data, so it's 7 days until the till the delivery of the sofa. So it's going to fire straight away. In reality, you might want to do this every day at 9 o'clock in the morning, for example. You wouldn't want to get a confirmation and a reminder all in one go, but just as a quick example, I can show you this. So what this does, it says if it's 7, 5 or 1 days till delivery, implement the reminder email, which is set up within Tactics here. But if it's not, we will loop round and wait till it falls into one of those days. If it's actually less than 1 day to the appointment, we're actually just going to send them to the orders delivered track. And you'll see here we've got a loop that occurs every day, so after each day we're going to send you back here and reprocess. So that's how that works. Hopefully I should have an email with a reminder. Brilliant. Okay, so I've got my reminder email there as well, and it's just reminding me that my sofa is going to be delivered in 7 days. Great, so hopefully you found that useful. That's one simple way you might want to set up campaign triggers for either service emails or marketing activity. If you'd like any more help in setting this sort of thing up, please contact your account manager and professional services can help you deliver this.